So Broadridge works in the communications chain between companies and investors. So we generally think that good dialogue between investors and issuers is important for corporate governance and is an opportunity as well, particularly to communicate with cross-border investors outside of Greece.
Have you noticed significant problems at the section of corporate governance in Greece?
I wouldn't say so. Broadridge generally remains fairly independent when it comes to specific corporate governance decisions in Greece, but I think we'd say generally in several countries in Europe, and Greece is one of them, that investors who aren't resident in Greece can find it more difficult to vote, particularly when there are barriers to voting, like paperwork or identification requirements. And we think there are technologies out there that can help make that easier, and that can be a benefit to companies to be able to talk to and reach more investors and allow more investors to vote more easily at their meetings.
Have you any proposals for better use of corporate governance?
Yeah, so for better use of corporate governance, I'd say so we see the Shareholder Rights Directive 2 as being a great opportunity for companies coming next year. So there's some elements of the directive that have been introduced already, of course, here, but others that are really becoming more significant from September 2020. And after that point, I think absolutely there's opportunities for companies to help better understand their investor base, and also just engage with those investors, get them to understand the company better, and so potentially they're more likely to, say, support the company when they need it for a proxy event, for instance.
Can we have some remarks or highlights of your speech?
Sure, yeah. So today I'll just be talking a little bit about some of the technology we've been developing. Some of it's driven by the directive, so looking at those new requirements for companies and for intermediaries and banks. Part of that is for shareholder disclosure. We also have new tools for proxy voting, and we'll be looking a little bit at machine learning and some of the things we're doing to help investors better analyse companies and understand companies' positions with respect to their policies. So really just looking at new technologies that are available or are becoming available to issuers and investors, and how that might change the landscape in the future.